Hello there, I'm here. I'm Alanna Starr Shimel. I'm with Lalitah. She is an Awakening Starseeds book series co-author, Shattering Illusions. And she's actually in Turkey. It's about 8 p.m. there. It's about 10 a.m. my time. So it's really cool to have these conversations with people that are from all over the world. As an Awakening Starseeds co-author, she has a chapter and a story about her awakening. So Lalitah, please introduce yourself and tell the listeners how you became a co-author for Awakening Starseeds.
Okay, hello, it's nice to meet you. Nice to take part in this interview. Yes, I'm Lalitah. I am a holistic and transformational healer. I work mainly with people about finding their truth and following their soul path to open and for their path and remove the blockages that can be in the way when we start moving in our true direction. How I got to become a co-author was a coincidence in the sense that I kept on seeing an ad for it on the internet, on Facebook. There was this asking for authors to participate in this book, and I thought immediately it kicked something inside me, like a curiosity, or wow, that sounds like my way. And then I was thinking, but they want it already in a few weeks. I cannot write and deliver something that fast. So I didn't respond to it until the third time I saw it. I was like, okay, it keeps on coming, it keeps on talking to me, so now I'm responding. And then I found out that they had actually postponed it, so there were a few extra months to participate. So that's how. And what talked to me was that it's a what do you call it?
Co-author.
Yeah. That we are many starseed who contribute and tell our story. I think it's a part of this awakening on Earth that we are coming together. We are starting making a great, meeting each other, whether it's online or in real life. I feel that there's a huge movement these days. So that also talked a lot to me to take part in something where we create community around it, and also connect with people I wouldn't have connected with else, and hopefully inspire some other people who already have this seed in them and feel it. Maybe they can recognize something about themselves, and it felt good to be a part of this collaborative, because then it's not about me as such, it's about the mission, or what you can call it, the whole awakening.
It makes it more comfortable to be seen, right? And to be like, oh, well, I'm worthy enough to tell my story. So what was the process like for you with Radhaa Publishing House? How did they help curate your story? And just share the process, what it was like.
Actually, for me, the writing process was incredibly easy, because when I had paid and said yes to the whole thing, I started downloading, and in a few hours I have written the number of words that were asked for, and I was like, can it really be this easy? And the support I got from the publishing house was more on the emotional level, or the being seen level, for my own personal sake. I had these interviews with Radhaa and Mike, and for me that was a huge support, actually, to be seen through their eyes, and they were very supportive also in how to get your message out. And Radhaa helped me look through the chapter I had written, because I was like, can it really be this easy? Is this enough? And when she had gone through it, she was like, that's totally fine, just send it. So I felt in that sense there was a good energy support behind all of it. Really, I felt all the way through, actually, there was a lot of energetic support from the publishing house and from InnerViews. I could feel every time I touched something around it when it was going on, especially until the day the book was finished and published. Every time I stepped in to connect to it or write something about it or send out my interviews, or there was this huge energy void around it, supporting it. So yeah.
Beautiful. So what is your chapter about? What chapter number are you, and what's your chapter about?
I don't remember what number I am. I'm one of the last ones, I think, in the book, maybe the second last or something. It's about, I tell my story about how I, after a breakup, which was very sudden actually, and that boyfriend disappeared on me. He simply cut the phone and everything, so I couldn't connect to him anymore. Realized that I had some, how to say,
triggers,
dysfunctional patterns around relationship, and I was just like, it just dawned on me, this never again, I'm never gonna go into something again where I feel this insecure and where these kind of things can happen, where we cannot communicate clearly. Never again. And that whole thing started a wave of the dark night of the soul, and I just for years were this inner cleansing and turmoil, and there I also began to take my healing educations, and was called to healing through it. I mean, it started buzzing in my hands, and that kind of energy came to me. So I started investigating, what is this about? And I found out that it was healing. So this whole process moved me into my path, actually. But I didn't know it at the time. I was just like, what is going on in my life? And everything is.
We would say that again, I see another pattern with Starseeds, that our pain is our catalyst to our healing work.
Yeah.
And because that's actually what gives us our authority to do so, right?
Yeah.
Who better to help other people than those who have been through pain? Yes. You know, all of us everyone I've interviewed, it comes from some form of a struggle that we turned our trial and error into our gift, right? So your hands were buzzing. So I'm learning that you took your body was giving you sensations.
Yes.
So it was communicating with you that you were on a new path.
Yeah.
Okay. So your chapter is about your buzzing in your hands, your meditations.
Yeah.
I read that. Okay.
Yeah, I began to get information through my meditations also about my next step in life and which move to make. So I started following these things, because during this dark night of the soul and everything turning around inside, actually also brought a need to, what do I do now? Because I cannot go the way I used to. So what now? So I started asking in my meditations, what is my next step? And they kind of, I got very clear answers. One was to go to a church and start creating meditations for people. Another one was to go to India, and there I met my current partner, which is a partner I can communicate clearly with, and totally different than the previous ones. So I learned that beginning to ask and following what my body communicates and what the universe communicates to me through my body, amongst other things, but also in messages, that I'm much better off, actually.
So would you say that since you became a co-author with Awakening Starseeds, your confidence as putting yourself out there has been boosted?
Absolutely.
In a sense, within the community. Great. Yeah. So have you had any kind of like successes, which is like, you know, maybe some type of events or book signings, or what kind of fun things have came from this collaboration with Radhaa Publishing House?
I would say it has more been indirectly connected. I have had many interesting reactions directly from people about it, and people I've known for quite a while see me in a new light and are very inspired by my story and the stories in general in the book. But I have not have any book signing projects because I'm here alone in Turkey, and just the fact to get the books here is actually maybe a bit challenging. So there's not been a solution to that yet that I could find. But I have talked with the publishing house that we might at one point. I know it's not a priority right now, but at one point might even get it translated into Turkish, and then we will do something here. Let's see what life wants.
Are you going to help Radhaa Publishing translate it into your language?
Yes, if it all gonna fall in together, then yes, we will see if we can do that.
Isn't it amazing that everyone basically are from different places? Like some are from LA, we have Turkey, we have the Czech Republic, we have a lot of Filipino. It's amazing, right? And not only do we have physical different ethnicities, but we also have inside galactic beings that are coming through us. So, you were called on this path as a starseed. So what kind of message would you give to somebody who's, wanting to come out of the spiritual closet and share their story? How would you, if they wanted to get involved with Radhaa Publishing and maybe be in the next chapter for the next book series, because this is going to be an ongoing process, what is a piece of advice you would share with somebody who's just starting?
Starting on the spiritual path, or might want to participate in the book, or both?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Start on the spiritual path, or are considering taking part of the book, or
well, usually both? Someone who is spiritual, but like is where you had these gifts and you were kind of on the edge, and then this opportunity comes to share the story. And what's just some advice you would give someone who is considering maybe becoming a co-author with this book, or any book in particular?
I would say if it feels right, then go for it, because it's a healing process in itself to share who we are. For me, I know we are many starseeds who are also super sensitive, empaths, introverts, and we are hiding around in our small corners. We have to go out and show the world who we are, and when we do it, we actually heal a big part for ourselves and for each other. I think it's a very important thing to actually become visible and begin to share, so other people can recognize themselves and start opening up. And that's also how some of our abilities becomes visible and grows. So yeah, I would say do it.
So how does it feel to have success becoming a best-selling author?
It feels great. It's a little, still maybe a little incomprehensible, because I've not had the book in my hand yet. So I have not I have had it on ebook, but this, to be able to touch it, and this I've not.
And how come you haven't received a hard copy?
Because it's I didn't order, and the import taxes here are incredible. So I was like, that's
As an author, you do receive a copy, though, correct?
I didn't receive any,
Oh, well, we have to look into that for you.
Okay.
Well, that's super cool. So, have you met anybody from the group yet? I believe there's like 15 of the co-authors, right? Have you met anybody in person, or is it just because you've been in Turkey that you haven't had a chance?
I haven't had a chance to meet anybody in person, only online, a few people. But it could be cool to meet all in person actually at one point. That would make it even more powerful, I think.
I think that's definitely the point. There's going to be some collaboration where everyone comes together, the events, So do you plan on maybe being in the next chapter perhaps, or making another book of your own, or continue working with Radhaa Publishing?
I have already signed up for being a part of the next book also, and I started the chapter, but it might change. Maybe it will change because now, yeah, things moved in a new direction. So we'll see what comes out. And yeah, I'm also, I have always actually, maybe that was another motivation. I have always, not always, but for a long time wanted to write my own book as well. I feel there's more than, maybe even more than one book that wants to come out. And also I know she was pushing me actually at one point saying, if you don't write your story, I will. So, so you better get going. And then I told her, when I started this chapter for this book, I told her, I'm going to write my story, but I would like your help. So maybe we will do a collaboration at one point with her. So yeah, I plan that it will continue. Yeah, for me, writing is actually a very good way also of working with my own things and healing myself. And yeah.
So if someone has a session with you, what's it like?
What's it like? Yeah, we talk about what the person comes for, and then I work with energies. It's energy work. So or I do it online. It can also be done like that. So I work with the energy. I connect to the person's higher self or spirit helpers, and then I get information about what is behind their issue. And I check all the chakras, and I raise the energy vibration in the body and heart openings. So at one point, if people continue getting the sessions, they will also become more and more open to their own intuition and their own knowing. So it opens their abilities even more also. So, but yeah, I get information for people and clear their energy system.
So have you shared with anybody in Turkey that, about Awakening Starseeds, and what kind of feedback are you getting from people hearing about a book collaboration like that?
I'm just thinking, yeah, I've shared with a few here. They were very excited about it, and yeah.
Do they understand like the concept of Starseed? Is it something popular out there?
No, I think it's a little still. I mean, Turkey is it's coming, it's growing here, but it's a little less than maybe in Europe and the States. These concepts, but I can see there are different movements here. There are a lot of that yoga going on, and then there is some movement around angels and these things. But
maybe that's what you're there for.
Yeah, maybe
it's definitely probably that reason. So since you're in Turkey, I'm sure you've heard of the Hagia Sophia, right? Have you been there before in person?
Yes, I have.
How is it?
Hagia Sophia is it's an interesting place. Actually, at one point with my partner, we did...
silent, right? So it's Hagia Sophia, right?
Hagia Sophia, yeah. We actually at one point did a program we call Istanbul Meditation for People, and it was a part of learning how to center and stay connected to yourself while you are in this busy life. And Istanbul is the perfect place because it's super busy. So we brought people out and together with meditation while we were out in the city. So we practiced first at inside in a room, and then we went out into the city. And one of them was Hagia Sophia. Actually, we took people there. And it was very interesting energy there. It was very beautiful. And
so would you say that you connect with that Mother Sophia energy?
Yeah, to some extent, yes. Definitely more than other energies, because we were also in another high valued mosque where that was not the energy I connect into. So
awesome. Well,
Sophia was much more soft and encompassing. Yeah.
Yes, that's definitely my energy that I'm working with. It's
Yeah.
the compassion, the understanding, and gentleness.
Yeah.
It's a rough world, you know, so it's nice to have that energy to
Exactly.
rely on to help us bring back in center.
Yeah. I work with a lot with love and self-love to awaken the heart energy, so we begin to feel that we are also love, and then we can lean into that. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Awesome. Well, you know, I like what you said, that healing, it's a process to share. The healing process comes from writing this. Basically, when you share your story, you're healing yourself. So, you know, I encourage people to, you know, look into writing their story or finding a good outlet for that. And so according to you, it's nice to hear that you had a good experience with Radhaa Publishing House, and that it's definitely led you in a good direction. So, you know, I look forward to seeing what you create for your next chapter in the future. And, you know, if anybody wants to get a hold of you, they can find your info in your bio below in the description, as well as information on how you can possibly become an Awakening Starseeds co-author and be mentored by Radhaa Publishing. So that way you can share your story and have a platform for letting people know your gifts and the process you went through, you know, because everybody's story is really important, because each time you share, you activate another person.
Yes.
So we're all activators for each other. So thank you for coming on and sharing your story. Is there anything else you'd like to share, and maybe a message for the day?
Message for the day could be, if you feel a yes inside, then go and do it. Don't hesitate. Don't follow these signals you get, and trust that they will lead you in the right direction.
Wonderful. So yes,
and
please
thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
And yes, absolutely, I agree with what you say, that share your message if there's just a tiny bit of what do you call it? Sometimes I miss the English words. It's encouragement to do it, or pull to do it, then do it. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything. Just find a way to begin sharing, because it makes a huge difference, especially for us who are sensitive and introverts. I
think that's too, is like part of working with, is from my understanding, working with Radhaa Publishing, is that you're getting an experience where it doesn't have to be perfect, because you have the opportunity to work with editors and people that can help curate your story to make it even better and more powerful. So you might write your chapter, and then you can work with Maya the Shaman, who's a part of Awakening Starseeds, and she's also a part of the book collaboration. She can help edit it down, so you have support from the team. Also, we had also what do you call it? Coaching sessions online. There were coaching meetings, so there was also possibility to get help that way, of how to write and where to start and all this. So yeah. Exactly. So amazing. Awesome. Well, Lalitah, I'm gonna end this video, but thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure to get to know you and have an interview with you. And I look forward to seeing you in the future and meeting you then. Okay? Yeah, maybe in real life too. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Bye-bye. Bye.